Draycott was a small, isolated town that didn't bustle with many people. There was a group of friends, though, that lived all nearby each other in the town, which made it more interesting and fun than it actually was. In the 4 three-story apartments, the second to last one housed Catherine on the top floor and Jessica on the first floor. Catherine is currently laying on her white-sheeted bed, taping pictures that she had recently printed out from her camera. Jessica interrupted her taping process by knocking on the door and walking in. "Hey," she said, "what's up?" "Nothing much," Catherine told her as she sat up and closed the scrapbook. "Just taping the pictures we took yesterday. What about you?" She put the scrapbook on her matching white dresser and stood up. "I was just doing crossword puzzles," Jessica said. "But it's lunchtime, so I was wondering if you just wanted to get McDonald's with me." "Yes!" Catherine jumped up and grabbed her scrapbook once again, but also her white camera. "Let's go now. I love McDonald's." Jessica giggled and followed beside her. They walked down the brown wooded stairs to the first floor and through the door that led to the entrance. Alyssa was standing there while typing on her phone since nothing seemed to be going on at the moment. When she heard the footsteps, she looked up and at the 2 girls walking into the room, thinking that they probably needed something. "Hey, Alyssa," Catherine sang. "We're going to McDonald's. Do you want anything?" "I'm good," Alyssa told them with a smile. "You two have fun." Catherine and Jessica waved goodbye to her before walking outside onto the sidewalk of the road. Celia and Luna were in front of the apartment they both resided in. There was a phone on a stand recording both of them. They were making TikToks together, of course. They lived an apartment over from Catherine and Jessica and were basically roommates now, just like them too. "Hey," Jessica walked over and proudly interrupted their TikTok. Celia groaned before she could finish what she had to say, then walked up to her phone and stopped recording. She turned to Jessica and folded her arms with her eyebrow raised. "Sorry," Jessica apologized. "I was just wondering if you want to join us to go eat at McDonald's." "Sure." Luna immediately agreed to join and walked over to them. "Come on, Celia. You should join. I'll film a TikTok at McDonald's so all my fans will know I'm there." Celia decided to adjust her plan as she folded up her phone stand and took her phone. The 4 of them made their way across the street right into the parking lot of McDonald's. When they entered the building, they saw Maria was one of the workers there. She was one of their friends, and she was currently working the job to support her and her brother. They went to her register and began ordering. "Do you have any foods with low calories?" Celia asked. "I don't want too many." Maria scanned the menu. "We have apple slices, which are really healthy." "I hate apple slices!" Celia cried. "Do you have anything else?" "If you want something salty, you could get kid fries," Maria offered. "That's good enough." Celia sighed. "Would you like sauce with that?" Maria asked. "No," Celia muttered, then walked outside as she set up her phone on a stand and began recording a TikTok. "So unserious." Catherine looked at her and shook her head. Luna walked up and ordered, then offered to order for the others too. She even offered to pay as well. "Are you sure you want to pay for us?" Jessica asked. "Yes, I don't mind." Luna nodded as she pulled out her credit card and put it down on the counter near the register. "Your total will be $36, Maria said. "How will we repay you?" Catherine asked Luna. "You won't have to," she smiled. "This is what friends do for each other." Maria smirked as she got an idea. "Actually, I'll take a few dollars off and even get you guys each free ice cream, but don't tell my manager." "We won't," Jessica promised, then nodded to the other 2 as they formed a silent agreement. Maria took off a few items, which lowered the price a lot. Then she wrote down the order. After she got done, they booked a table at the front by the window, which allowed them to see Celia filming TikToks right outside. "Is that her idea of fun?" Catherine asked and blinked a plethora of times, as she was still processing what she was even looking at. "I think it's cool," Luna laughed as she watched her best friend. "In a way, you get to store memories whether you think it's stupid or not." "I guess you have a point." Catherine shrugged. She really couldn't argue with that. "She should be here inside with us right now," Jessica scolded. "Maybe we should join her," Luna suggested, to make memories on TikTok with her. "But that's the whole reason I brought a camera," Catherine cried out. Well, let's go, and ask if she wants to take a picture with it, Luna declared, then stood up as she confidently walked out the door. Catherine glanced over at Jessica, who nodded at her. So she decided to stand up, but she noticed that Jess didn't move from her spot. She looked at her. I'll stay, Jessica stated. We need someone to make sure the food gets to our table. But you'll miss the photo. Catherine frowned and held up her camera. Just call me out there when she says yes, Jessica told her. If she does. Catherine nodded, then rushed outside the restaurant. Do you want to take a picture with us? Luna asked. Celia was on her phone, currently posting the TikTok she had just made to her account. She got out of the app and turned on her camera. Yeah, we can just take one on my phone. Celia held out her phone sideways so that Luna and her were in it. Actually, Luna began, as she pushed Celia's phone back down, then pointed to Catherine. We wanted to take a photo all together. Celia looked at the white camera that hung around Catherine's neck. Why do you still use that old thing? Because it prints photos that I can put in my scrapbook. Catherine held up the camera and countered. And it's not old. It's not an iPhone that has apps on it, so it must be old, Celia reasoned. Just take one quick photo with us, Luna begged. Please? It's 1,000 times easier just to film a TikTok. Celia held up her phone and snapped a quick selfie of herself. Ooh, I look cute, posting that right now. It's fine if she doesn't want to, Catherine said. I'll find a way to get her in at least one. She walked off back into McDonald's and joined Jessica at the table, where the food was just getting delivered to them. The food's here? Catherine noticed. It just arrived, Jessica said, as she looked at everything they ordered. I don't know who got what, so I'll just wait for them to get in here. As soon as she said those words, Celia was seen running into the table. Where are my fries? Celia asked, as she looked at all the food on the table. Oh, they're right here. Catherine found them and grabbed them. Give me them, Celia demanded. Sit down first. You're not going to take them, and go back outside just to film more TikToks, Catherine told her. Celia groaned, but sat down across the table from her. She handed the fries to her as Luna then slid in beside her. They went through all the bags of food and all got their orders, so they began eating and talking about whatever came to mind. Eventually, after they finished eating, besides their ice creams that Maria gave to them for free, they decided that they should do something else. I'm bored. Celia kicked her feet on the red two-seater that occupied her and Luna. Let's take a photo then, Catherine suggested, and pulled the camera off her neck. Not with that antique camera that looks like you stole from your great-grandma's basement, Celia complained. Nuh-uh. It'll be quick, Catherine told her as she held it in the air, looming over them. Everyone huddle in. Catherine held her hand up higher and more out towards her left as she moved in closer. Luna and Celia, while reluctant, both leaned into the view of the camera lens. The camera made a clicking, then whirring sound as it printed out a photo from the bottom of the camera. Let me see that. Celia snatched the photo and examined it very closely. Not my best look, but I'll let it slide. It's not going online, it's going in my scrapbook, so don't worry about it, Catherine informed her. What do you guys want to do now? Luna asked eagerly. I'm going back outside to film TikToks, Celia stated as she stood up and squeezed through the table and started walking towards the door. We should join her, Luna suggested. It'll be fun. For who? Jessica asked, then laughed. I don't even know how to dance, Catherine said. It doesn't matter as long as we're having fun, Luna said. Come on, guys, let's go make new memories. Luna stood up and rushed out the door. Catherine and Jessica grabbed the 4 ice cream cones and followed her outside. They ate their own as they watched Luna and Celia dance. When they were done, Celia posted the TikTok. Luna walked up to Jessica and grabbed her ice cream. Do you want your ice cream? Luna asked and held it out for Celia to take. Celia shook her head. No, I don't want mine. You can have it. All right, Luna nodded before starting to eat it. We should film a TikTok together, Celia suggested. After we eat our ice cream, Jessica said, and sat down on the concrete of the parking lot. Let's film a TikTok with ice cream then, Celia said, then grabbed the second ice cream Catherine had, before going back over to her phone and pressing record. Celia danced with it in her hand to a random TikTok song, and Luna decided to join in. Catherine and Jessica awkwardly joined in by doing really nothing in the background. They were bad dancers, but the most important part was that they were having fun. When the recording ended, Celia went up to it and held up her phone so they could all watch it. They all looked at each other and laughed, somehow without making a mess with their ice creams. "We look so stupid," Jessica laughed and told Catherine. "I know, right?" Catherine agreed as she laughed with her. "I am so posting this." Celia giggled and pressed the post button, then looked at her ice cream. "On second thought, I think I do want my ice cream." "Let's all take a bite," Luna said. "Catherine, get your camera out." Catherine did as instructed. "I'll record another TikTok," Celia said as she pressed record on her phone again. "On the count of 3, Luna began. 1, 2, 3. All at once, they took a bite out of their ice cream, which made their mouth completely feel cold. Catherine took a picture at the same time. "Ow!" Jessica cried. "That's so cold," Celia murmured. They all looked at each other as it went silent for a moment. Then they laughed it off. Celia grabbed her phone and posted it to her TikTok. Catherine looked at the photo that printed from the camera and laughed at it. The others looked at it too and were all in amusement from it. When they all returned home, Catherine was laying on her bed while taping the new memories in her scrapbook. She smiled and was laughing silently at her scrapbook. She set it on her white dresser and laid down in her bed before closing her eyes and drifting off to sleep. This was what her life was like with her friends. They lived in a small, quiet, and vacant town where they have and go on wild and crazy adventures. And when they weren't doing that, they end up doing fun things themselves because they were friends and they lived in the town of Draycott.